Alright, we're back. The fucking internet cut out. Sorry about that, everybody. What was I saying before we lost connection? Like, as soon as I noticed we lost connection, I stopped moving ahead with the speech. But what were we saying? I remember what we were talking about. It's just like, where did we lose connection? No, the Raptors were actually moved to the other island over the weekend, so it's all okay. I was saying that's where it cut off. Jeez. You know, I should start making sure to record these on my end so that shit doesn't get caught in the YouTube upload. Well, you always need a backup. But, now the stats in Final Fantasy IV aren't explained enough for you to really get the picture when you turn into a paladin. Like, I feel like 8 needs to remake more than 7, because 7's story is fine, the biggest problem is the translation more than anything else. Oh great, good work. Let me know what you think of it, because I've not gotten around to playing it. But 7 has a decent story. It's a little bit confusing at the point where Cloud is trying to figure out his identity, but besides that, it works. Yes, I do own it myself. I'm a fan of the Deception series, and it's technically a spin-off. But 8's story just doesn't come across that well. A lot of it falls down because it introduces ideas that it never really expands. After all of this, and the revelation that Edea is the matron and everything, we talk about it at the start of Disc 3 and then we never mention any of it again. Any of the memory loss, the growing up together, the concerns over what amnesia did for the emotional growth of the characters. Combine that with them being raised as child soldiers, none of it is properly touched upon again. You know, maybe we'll do Deception 4 for the stream at some point. I've still not finished that. I played it a bunch and I've not finished it because I've not sat down and really focused on it. There's also the question here with the idea of how long does it take the GFs to have an effect with the amnesia? How far back does it stretch? There's too much left up in the air, and it becomes a big part of the problem with the game. Yeah, I've mentioned before that I had the original Deception as a kid. It was called Devil's Deception over here. It's called Tecmo's Deception into Darkness in the US. Well, FF7 Remake is late April, isn't it? You know me, I'm always gaming for the stream and the channel. But more than anything, they're just, at this point, they're the reasons I'm gaming. April 10th, fucking hell. Yeah, more than anything, the stream and the channel are the reasons I'm gaming, as much as I am at the minute, which is really nice. Like, giving me the push. I want to play games, I'm just focusing on them is really difficult sometimes, and the stream and the channel really help with that. It's a commitment that I've made, that I'm good with. It helps push me into this stuff. If it wasn't for the stream, I'd have stopped Final Fantasy VIII after the last session, because it's been a while and I just didn't really want to go back to it, but we're doing more of it for the stream. Is it bad? No, I just would have stopped. I would have lost interest. Yeah, let's just hope the Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't as disappointing as Kingdom Hearts 3. This feels like a broken Aesop. Like, yeah, no, let's keep using the powers of the GF so that we can fight for what we have now. And it's like, cool. What about if the GFs make you forget what you have now? Hey D-Chim, welcome to the stream, friend. So this track is called Edea Was Our Matron, and it's a really nice track. Well, you say rarely use, what you mean is you don't summon them. You still have them junctioned, and that's the problem, that's the idea of it. At this point, we probably wouldn't comprehend why our matron has turned evil, even if we talked about it. Then we talk about it and we comprehend it just fine. You know, I saw a thing a few years back, because somebody did a complete no GF run. Like, no junctions or anything. And the way they put it, it sounded horrible. Like, they managed to beat the game, and it sounded horrible. It took them ages to do. I think it took them actual years to do it. Like, the final fight with Ultimisia especially was entirely luck-based. Yeah, but we're all back together because of the tides of fate, Irvine. This is a bullshit argument. You mean Hojo on disc 2? I guess I could see that, with materia not governing quite as much as the GFs do in Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, I can believe that. You know, I can believe that, D-Cham. I feel like a lot of the problem with the whole GF memory erasure thing does come from the decision to make the focus of the story a love story between Squall and Rinoa. It's like the idea of, oh hey, Cloud and Tifa were childhood friends, and that worked, so let's make everybody childhood friends. But isn't that kind of like, No, it'll be fine. They forgot their childhood friends. Like, that makes it weaker. Like, Tales of Grace's F did a better idea of the childhood friends thing, because everybody remembered being childhood friends. They just drifted apart over the years and then came back together. GF Dementia. It's as good a name as any for it. Where's my drink? There we go. And the idea of everybody having grown up in the orphanage together except Rinoa really just makes her stick out on her own, and leads to the big problem of her, for the rest of Disc 2, not having a real reason to be here. She's given a reason in Disc 3, yeah, but for the rest of Disc 2, why is she with us? This is all deeply personal for all of us, and we're Seed. We were raised to fight this fight. Why are you still here, Rinoa? We can go and drop you back off at Timber if you want. Dementia Force, go! Alright, let's go head south. Well, that looks weird. But what does it mean, Nida? Okay, stop doing that. Best part of the game. Well, the assault on Galbadia Garden has a lot of stakes to it. Everything else in the plot stops. And it's all simple. It's all a simple case of the enemy is here, we have to fight. And it's backed by all of the Seed working together. God, I'm gonna have to go around this friggin' thing. It's backed by all the students of Balan working together to fight off the Galbadian army. It's a big spectacle, there's some great music. It culminates in the fight with Edea, which Edea's appearance into that fight is sweet. Like, the fight against Galbadia is awesome. And it's probably because everything else stops while we have this fight. Is there anything in the game that actually says that? You know, it's funny you say that, Clem. Also, welcome to the stream, Clem. How you doing today, buddy? It's funny you say that. We're never getting on another train in this game. We've been on plenty of trains, no more trains in this game. Tell me where the orphanage is. No, it does not. We're still on the train. Everything since has been a dream. That's because you were too scared to jump off the train, Bane. Okay, I know where the orphanage is. Am I ready for that? If we do this now, I can end up with Tombury King before we go into Disc 3. Which will be a bonus. It'll be a good benefit. Honestly, Clem, there are other reasons not to get hyped up for playing this game. Well, I'll say, I think the soundtrack in this game is phenomenal. Really, Doom Train's here? Because I only ever remember Odin and Tombury here. Ooh, more money. Wait, no, we have to go the other way around. Well, that's the issue with Laguna. The Laguna sequences, you never see them on the main menu. Not the main menu, the overworld. Yeah, if I'm going to take on Odin, I'm not fighting a Tombury. Those things take way too long to kill. What am I on a time limit? There we go. I do like Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. It's probably the best thing about the game. I prefer this dungeon theme to the one that Final Fantasy VII had. Tears Point. Going up. Okay, one of these only goes part way, and I don't remember whether it's left or right. Further up. You know, if there's one thing I appreciate about 7 over 8, it's that it's just simpler. Yeah, there's 1. I mean, the materia system is simpler, easier to work. Leveling isn't a trick. Making yourself stronger isn't a trick either. I think in the end, the big problem with Final Fantasy VIII is how getting stronger works. With the magic junction to specific attributes. No, we finished Dark Souls 2. It's not a bad idea, but once we get Cerberus, we're never going to cast double or triple again. Like the only GF I actually ever summon. Up to the top. Something else here, I know there is. There's a ladder, I can tell it is. We need the other eye. You know, this slow-ass animation is not something I need on a time limit. Oh, they can all jump back together, though? Yeah, I'm not sure what the next Final Fantasy we'll do after this will be. We could do one for its simplicity. That'd be nice. We could do 5, the job system. We could do 10 just to push the story ahead. Then we could also do 6 for story. Oh, god damn it. Let's get the order of this place. I just feel like everybody should be doing more damage than they currently are. A junction, more powerful magic to strength, I guess. I really need to do grinding at some point then. Get some of that stronger magic. Get on the ladder, you tit. You know, you mentioned that your file got erased and that's why you never finished Final Fantasy I. You were doing it on the NES, and I recall my response was, don't play it on NES. I don't think you said that you got to the final dungeon. Yeah, I think, no, it's a ladder here. Like, leveling in this game only really matters for making the enemy stronger, and that's it. Like, you make the enemy, you level up to make the enemy stronger so they'll have better magic for you to take from them. And that's it. Yeah, no, fuck this monster. Like, that's the only benefit to leveling, making the enemy stronger so they'll have better magic. Okay, throw an elixir on there. Grab the ladder, you tit. A time limit. Okay, let me get that. 78418. Take out all the eyes. Left eye, the right eye, and never forget the snake eye. 78418. Alright. You know, sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't trust you with the quote system. But when you actually add quotes, you do choose the good quotes. Like the pet name quote, that was a good quote. There, let's put this thing in. The ladder. God, I really hope we can beat Odin in under 10 minutes. So I finally sat down yesterday and watched Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, which is the 60s cartoon movie sequel. Oh god, I forgot about this shit. But yeah, it essentially gathers the surviving cast of the 60s Batman series, and it's an animated cartoon set during the 60s Batman series, and it's a lot of fun. It's like more of the 60s Batman series. It's got Adam West reprising his role, Burt Ward reprising his role, Julie Newmar reprising her role, and that's it, because basically everybody else is dead, which is unfortunate. Although one interesting thing was, at one point the movie takes a minute to throw shit at The Dark Knight Rises, of all things. Wow, Odin, you got big. God, Edea NT was such a disappointment. It doesn't even play that well. Okay, what is this? This is triple. Cool. Fuck him up. That's a point. We should do a Decim at some point. Yeah, that's Batman Ninja. I watched that. I didn't like it. You know what would probably be a good idea? Demi. Anybody have Demi? It doesn't look like it. Damn. Like, the 3-on-3 combat doesn't work. The more grounded nature of the combat and the more single level arenas don't work. The movement was one of the best parts of the combat in the PSP games. Do I still have NT? It's weird to me, every few months Square rolls around and says, oh hey, more news about Edea NT, we're still developing for it. And it's like, really? The weird thing about NT is that they're still putting out DLC characters for it. Well, that's kind of the stupid thing. It's not like Edea isn't accessible to begin with. Edea is a simple game. Yeah, it's got RPG elements and equipment and summons and shit. It's one of the simplest implementations of that mechanic. You know, I should probably check to see how much HP this dude's got. How close are you to dead, Odin? Oh, okay. Close enough, I guess. And there we go, we won. That worked. But no, one of the weirdest things about NT as well, it's not just that it's still getting DLC characters, it's the choice of DLC characters. I can probably get out of here one-handed. Let me look at the list. I can probably find the list. Yes, so. Okay, DLC characters. Yeah, we're gonna go for Tombury. We're gonna leave, save the game, and then we'll come back in. No, it's not a remake, not at all. Let me see. Locke from Final Fantasy VI. Okay. Renoa from Final Fantasy VIII. Like, really? They added Tifa, but at this point, it's like, why isn't Tifa just in the game? Camlan out from Final Fantasy XI. Okay. Yuna was DLC. Like Clem already mentioned. Vayne from 12. Garbaranth from 12. Why the fuck Snow is a DLC character from 13? Xenos Ye Galvus from 14. I played 14 for like 3 years. I have no idea who the fuck that is. Then again, all the Galleons had weird names. Who was Galvus? Oh, he's from Stormblood. He's not even one of the major villains from early on. Ardyn from Final Fantasy 15. No. And then one character that isn't DLC but is more of a middle finger than anything. Ramza from Final Fantasy Tactics is in the game. And it's like, oh, Square still remembers Final Fantasy Tactics. Cool. Is that kind of a hint that we're getting something now? We will never get another Final Fantasy Tactics. Well, they say you have the option of the original active time battle system, but it's not the original system. It's the new system in a turn-based mechanic. It's basically the same thing as Dissidia on PSP has an RPG mode. It's basically that. Alright, so let's get Tombury. Did I have anything to draw? Oh shit, we should stock death. That's entirely understandable, Clem. Tactics games are not for everybody. Tactics is a series I struggle to get into. No, I'll totally agree with you. Yeah, Arden, playable. 15 has so many problems. But I like Fire Emblem. I like Advance Wars. Revenant Wings was a real-time strategy game, though, more like Command and Conquer than Tactics. But I like Fire Emblem. I like Advance Wars. I think there's another series that I quite like, but I can't remember. But I've never really gotten into the Tactics series, despite all my efforts in trying. You know, you mentioned he's like Kefka. I think that's one of the big problems of Final Fantasy XV towards the end. It suddenly starts trying to rip off Final Fantasy VI, but it's not as interesting or well done. Oh, that was good damage. Like, the problem with basically everything with 15 is there's not enough story in a lot of stuff. Like, what happened to the king? Oh, you better watch the movie for that. I don't want to watch the fucking movie for that. What happened to Ravus? Oh, you better play the DLC for that. I don't want to buy more to find out what happened with these plot-critical characters. And when it turns out that they were still patching in story cutscenes after, like, for a few months after launch, like, why was this game released? Was he what, Clem? Oh, thank God he fell over. The whole thing with 15, like, Arden was an interesting character up until the Leviathan fight, I'd say. This is for the fans, because nobody but the fans is gonna spend more money on this. I liked Arden as a character up until the Leviathan fight, but the Leviathan fight is where the entire game falls apart anyway. All of a sudden, it's been unclear who the real bad guy is, beyond being the Garlean Empire. And then all of a sudden the Leviathan fight happens, Arden's personality then completely changes, and it's like, oh yeah, no, he's the main villain. Ravus is so disappointing because he was also a really cool, engaging character. And then you don't see him, like, after... Oh, it's not even the midpoint, it's before the midpoint. After that, you don't see him again. You want to find out what happened? You gotta buy the DLC for it. there were ideas in 15 that I really liked. And despite the whole idea of... Despite the whole idea of 15 having been a game that was in development for 10 years, it feels like it was unfinished and rushed out the door. Which is really ironic. This is exactly why I hate going for Tombury. The whole DLC situation with 15 is disgusting. The only reason I have the DLC I have is because I was able to pick up the Royal Edition so cheap. I got the game. I got the main game. I ended up with the Deluxe Edition, which I didn't pay full price for anyway. It came with the movie, and it's the only reason I saw the movie. Then I got rid of it. The Royal Edition came out, and it's like, yeah, all the DLC plus the Royal Packs. And it's like, okay. A week after that came out, it was like £20 brand new, so I bought it. I've not played it yet. Probably do that for the stream at some point, but what I want to do is, because I have episode Duske as well, if you remember that, the demo that came with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. Oh, that took way too long. But I've got that. I've still got it on my PS4, and what I want to do is go through 15, and then go through episode Duske again, and compare the two. See how the game was originally when we were first got to play it, versus how it became. Because I remember episode Duske playing very differently to the final game. Yeah, the whole planned DLC thing is bullshit. At least we don't get the on-disc DLC anymore, as far as we're aware, but let's be fair, the idea of a season pass is just as bad. But there's the thing though, Clem. You say people buy it so it'll never stop. People didn't buy the Final Fantasy 15 DLC, that's why it stopped. Like, I don't have episode Arden because it didn't come with the Royal Edition. Because Square, for some reason, it's like, oh yeah, no, buy the Season Pass. Okay. What did the Season Pass get you? Episode Gladio, Ignis, and Prompto. Cool. Then the Royal Pack comes out, and it's like, does the Season Pass get you that? No. So it's like, buy the Royal Edition, you get the season, you get all the DLC plus the Royal Pack. Cool. And then they announced more DLC to finish the story up. There was episode Arden that they announced, and that did actually come out. I think one of the other ones was might have been focused on Luna Freya. Why'd they cancelled all that shit because people were just done with 15. But it's like, we'll do 15. Well, that's the main reason why I'm holding off on 7. It's the same reason why I didn't see the Hobbit movies until they were done. I'm not paying multiple times for what should be one product. Really, Clem? Are you? I didn't realise you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII. There was nothing to indicate that. You know what, D-Champ? It's not even the writers. Like, the writers are a part of it, yes. But I don't trust Square Enix as a whole to put out a product that's worth buying at launch. What was the last game Square put out that was actually worth picking up at launch? Alright. Full healed, let's just head to the fight at Galbadia. I think there is definitely a point to making sure people are aware that the last Final Fantasy that wasn't very divisive in the fan community was probably 9. Because that's the thing, 10's fantastic and everybody loves 10 now. Not everybody loved 10 at launch. But then if we move past launch, we just talk about ones that aren't divisive today. The last one was 10, and 10 came out in 2001. It's been almost 20 years since Square put out a mainline Final Fantasy game that didn't have at least a significant portion of the fanbase, like, seriously. I hate getting around the water with Barn. I don't really get why some people have such a hard time getting into 9. I get 9 is built as a... Oh fuck, I didn't realise Galbadia was right there. I get that 9 is the whole retro callback thing, but as it stands on its own, it's a really solid game. The only character I have a hard time liking in the beginning is Steiner. I think everybody else is fine. Oh shit, they're coming right for us. Yeah, 9's ending is kind of like... okay. Not as bad as 12's, but you know. This is going to be the final battle, people. You heard it from Nida. Once we're done here, we're going to start the Castlevania Marathon. Really? What was your problem with 7 then, DJ? Like, not accusatory or anything, I'm just really curious. Everybody, take care of the hot dogs. I want you all to, like, we're gonna go over this several times, everybody. The pacing. I guess that's fair enough. I mean, my big thing with the cafeteria team, collect all the hot dogs and store everything in the secret shelter. Do not leave anything for the enemy. That's it. It's different. It's difficult to think of something like that for me, because I played Final Fantasy VII at a time where I didn't really have that much else to play, and so I know the game well enough now. But then at this point, it feels like I always have. You know, it's an interesting thought with the pacing. Like, re-examine it with a critical eye on the pacing. Alright, well. The door's locked. Keystis, the door is locked. Yeah, the control system in this game is weird as fuck. Interesting thought, the pacing is a problem. But I guess you could really argue the same with this. Yeah, I'm gonna take Keystis and Selfie with me, because they have the better limit breaks, and I don't want to punch Keystis in the face. You know, that's a fair point with 9. After the opening and escaping from Alexandria, the Evil Forest really drags, and then the game just is kind of a slog up until you get to Lindblom. Yeah, I feel like, because we discussed this in the previous sessions, there are various points with 8 where it's just like, it's gonna be a while before something happens. Thankfully now everything's going. If we're going to the quad, why are we not on the ground floor? You know, that's a fair point. If you don't know about going to Bugenhagen... In fact, no, it's not even that. Finding Cloud, if you don't know about that, exactly where to go, that could be a problem, yeah. But then also going to Bugenhagen to decipher the Ancients and finding the key of the Ancients would be a problem. They're all fair criticisms, D-chan. We have guns. I agree with Clem with 9. I do think that the game kind of slows down quite a bit after the intro from Evil Forest until... God, probably after Lindblom, actually. There's the interesting bit with escaping Black Waltz number 3, and that's kind of it. What happens to the stage? Yeah, I'd have to go through it again. I'll try and figure out where it picks up after that. This is really not the time, Zell. Like, knowing exactly what Zell plans to do with the ring, this is really not the time. Yeah, if we think of basically all the Final Fantasy games as sequences of moments, they all come across way better. Like, you think of the good moments from this game, like the assault on Galbadia, or the landing, the Delete mission, or going to space is really cool. All the fights with all the sorceresses. Alright, back to the bridge. Oh god, now I've got to play as Zell, don't I? Oh, thank God. What is it, Nita? Oh, look, it's Bitch Boy. Well, if Scythe's in charge, I expect them to just completely fuck up and be over-aggressive, leading them to overextending themselves and us easily pulling victory through superior tactics because Scythe is a moron. You know what, I suppose that becomes a question with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, there you go. That's good music. We know it's coming out in parts, but are the parts gonna be DLC? Or are they gonna be separate releases? You know, at least one of those soldiers fell off the bike. Seriously, who designed this piloting mechanism? Well, that'd be the thing, wouldn't it? DLC would make it fit together better, but separate releases are something that they could charge more for. But if they do it as DLC, you could also only get it through them. They get constant money. There'd be no second-hand sale for it. No running in the halls, but riding bikes, perfectly fine. Hell, we're insulted if you aren't riding bikes. This really isn't the time for this. You know, it's probably a bad sign when Irvine's the one who's speaking sense. Gotta say, though, the FMVs are still fantastic. I think FF8 comes across as really weird because it's still got the fantasy elements, but it's also really modern. Well, she really proved that she can fight with all of us. Look at this amazing FMV technology on the PS1, yeah. Yeah, I think the thing that's really bizarre about FF8's setting is the fantasy combined with the modern combined with the futuristic. It all clashes in a really weird way. Well, you know, when she can mount her dog on her arm, like yeah, no, dog, come on, jump on my arm, and then shoot the dog from the arm. I can't imagine she can hold her own weight. That cat poster. I don't know, I mean, there's arguments for either strategy. For Square, they could charge more for independent releases, but if they do it as DLC only, then there's no second-hand sale about it. They get all the cash. Well, they get most of the cash. You know, I feel like we should have that blocked off. Okay, seriously, Irvine? Fuck you. Yeah, no. Squall, you're really heartless saying that about Renoa. Like, you're just gonna let her die. It's like, dude, if I take the time to go and help Renoa right now, how many other people die? Well, there was that time where we had to have Irvine in the party. It was a horrible time. Wait a minute. I don't even remember how it was before. They keep messing with my settings. Oh hey, they got a green dude this time. You guys got any good magic? That's not bad. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, let me see. Restock scan. Okay, new Gatling gun. You know, they probably could have animated that better because it looked like she has gun boobs. Oh no, they're firing back at the gun boobs. You see, there's the thing, guys. You think that you want to hit him with fire, but in reality, they're all weak to getting hit in the face with a sword. Oh shit, I need to change some of the GF stuff. Yeah, remember guys, every enemy you'll ever come across is weak to being hit in the face with a sword. Magic mod. What are you on? Yes, elemental defense. Strength bonus. Treatment's fine. That's good. No, that happens at specific points in the game because I think it's supposed to emphasize God, what's the word I'm looking for? Urgency. It's supposed to emphasize urgency. You ain't got time to pose. You have to go and help the kids. Strength boner. Remember, hit every enemy in the face with your strength boner. Everybody is weak to the strength boner. There's a quote for you. Is it weird that this military academy only has one classroom? Oh shit, they saw police notes. You know, I feel like there's gotta be a better way to deploy. So, we got good news and bad news. The bad news is they are way more prepared for a fight than we are. With their weapons and their tech and their better trained soldiers. The good news... You didn't do quote ad, Bane. Yeah. The good news, though, is with Cypher in charge of their battle plan, they are going to go down. There you go. Renzo Kuken! So I've mentioned this before, but the Renzo Kuken is way harder to pull off in the remaster because the frame rate for the menus was like dramatically reduced. Because it's a garbage ass port that they charge like way more than they should for. Oh god, that put her to friggin' sleep. Wake her up, Keistis. God damn it, Keistis. Where's my full Phoenix? No, don't use the full Phoenix, actually. Use the regular Phoenix down. That will leave her with enough health to access the limit break. Come on, why isn't the limit break up? There we go, jeez. Now, there is a plan to this. There we go. Still worked. Yeah, basically the plan was to get Selphie's limit break so we can do full cure, which gives us full health with basically no resources spent. It's my main method of healing in Final Fantasy VIII. Because magic is too valuable to really use in a lot of cases. And I haven't spent any time buying healing items. Now let's see, we need to change Siren. Magic 40%, I'll be fine. Wasn't the point of them being here that this was safe? Is anywhere safe in this raid? Also, we're supposed to have people looking after the junior classmen. Why are there only 2 junior classmen? Also, say goodbye to that camera angle, because it only appears for that scene. Oh, they're ramming us. Well, everybody else fell over. It's not my problem. We're the elite military unit Seed. Everybody's on the ground. Good work. We need to get into Galbadia Garden, infiltrate and then beat people in the face. We need to take our strength boner to them. You know, I still need to do Type 0. I bought it like when I got my PS, like very early on after I got my PS4. I managed to get it new cheap, and it still had because I bought it new. It had the code for the episode Duske demo for 15. Yeah, so that was nice. And I've just never played the game. I think it's 9 characters to rename a GF. I've heard the gameplay of Type 0 is good. I heard the gameplay was good, but the localization is terrible, and the upscaling of the PSP version into the HD version is really inconsistent. I actually do have the fan-translated PSP version, which I've been debating doing instead. Seriously, Irvine, you are being unreasonable. It doesn't matter if she's one of us, because everybody else in the fucking garden is one of us as well. You're acting as though I'm the bad guy for putting the needs of the many above the needs of Herbert. Like, seriously. Yeah, I should get around to it at some point. That'll be another game to put on the backlog for the stream. Though which version would be the question, since I could do both. Also, if Zell couldn't do anything to rescue her, what you want me to do is go fight through the barricade the Galbadia set up. And then see if I can do something when Zell couldn't. There is no good Ultimecia. The ending doesn't make any sense. It's to tie up loose plot threads that make no sense. What's your question, Clem? Everybody, you're all probably tired. I know it seems impossible. But I'm here to tell you, we can do the impossible. We can see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. That's a good clip. Well, the whole thing with Squall giving orders is because Cid, out of nowhere, just says, yeah, Squall, you're in charge now, and then he fucks off somewhere. Yeah, time compression is just a confusing mess. See, Galbadia Garden students, I know you're tired. I know many of you are injured from fighting. I know it seems hopeless. But listen to me when I say the self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform. I appreciate that clip. Makes it different from when we were announcing it to Delling City. It's like, put the compassion into it. But no, it comes off as really irresponsible of Cid to just put the responsibility on Squall. I think a cheer requires money, actually. It requires money, and the person you try to cheer has to be an affiliate, so that they can actually receive some kind of monetary benefit, like subscriptions and stuff. Yeah, time compression is bullshit. The whole Cid, like, the time compression, I feel like one of the main points of it is that it exists to justify Cid's terrible decision of making Squall the leader of the Garden. Because the idea is like, yeah, no, Squall's the one who gave Edea the idea of Seed. And Edea and Cid knew that it would be Squall who'd grow up to be the leader, so it becomes a stable time loop. But it's still incredibly irresponsible of Cid. Huh. Who'd have thought? Maybe it wasn't a good idea to have children here. In a military training ground. Maybe we should recruit them a little older. Yeah, as far as I'm aware with the cheer, it's essentially another affiliate thing. You don't quite commit as much as a subscription. That's a cool background. The only thing that really ruins it is the compression. Aww. That FMV did not last long enough. Oh, now I can't see shit. You know, that's not a bad idea. But there is a question though, D-Cham. Because earlier... Yeah, no, try going to 100 plus HP because this fucking thing is stupid. When Norg's faction released all of the enemies out of the training center, did we kill them all? I hate this entire sequence. It's like you immediately take damage, and then you take more damage that you can't do anything about. And the entire thing comes off as luck-based, but you have to succeed. It's an arcade sequence in a game that isn't designed for them, but it's worse than anything VII did. Like G Motorbike, in VII, not that difficult. Snowboarding, not essential to anything. There was no failure to that. The submarine, not difficult. It's like, fail at this, oh no, do it again. And let's be fair, there's no real strategy to this. Oh, I need to get around to Police Notes. I've had it on my to-do list for years. And I've never played it. The bike chasing in 7's fun. Most of the arcade games in 7 are fun. It's why I really like the option that 7 has to replay them in the Wonder Square. But that is crap, and I've always hated it. This looks cool though. Like, if there's one thing Final Fantasy VIII did undeniably better than 7 and 9, it's the integration of the FMV backgrounds with the standard gameplay. Yeah, seriously, why did you pick this time to do this? Rinoa just doesn't have a clue what's going on. This is important for later. This will become important later. It's important that we call it Buttman now. It's a callback to a stream that only me and Clem are aware of. But it's also going to be funny later when everybody's forgotten about it. Yeah, Herbert, let's go, because let's be fair, there's a battle right to the... on just, like, off camera. And if we leave you here, you're gonna die. Junction yourself too. Got a junction Bane to my strength stat. Oh, thank God we met up with you guys. Now I can get rid of Herbert and never have her in my party again. Irvine, where the hell were you? Honestly, I feel like you're going for low-hanging fruit there, Clint. Personally, I would go with Keistus. But then I'm just kind of hot for teacher, so... yeah. Forget about the past. Remember, the GS make us forget about the past. Yeah, I did pretty well with the ultimate draw as well. Like that, there was good. There was like 12 ultimate. What time are we on? Oh, we still like another hour left. Cool. Because the stream time is all out of whack because we lost the internet connection. Yeah, I'm immediately replacing you. You don't get to come with us. It's a risk you have to take though, D-Chan, because Buttman is the most powerful GF. Alright, where do I even go? That's not even a door. Fuck you, Final Fantasy VIII. It's so stupid. Not here. I need to find my way back round to the main hall. I can fight Cerberus. Not that way. It's a weird looking enemy. I think the shadows are in the wrong game. You really aren't me. Oh god, fucking lock system. You know, I think it's less Japanese obsession with warring high schools and more a Japanese obsession with high schools. Yeah, I recall them there. This could take ages, isn't it? Oh hey, Fuji and Raijin! I may kick your ass again. Yeah, no. You know, I feel like Fujin and Raijin get the character development we actually want from other characters, but it all happens off screen. The DLC where you find out exactly what made them change their minds. Hmm. 20-year-old DLC. You know, at least that would have been something to make the remaster worth considering. Like, seriously, if you've not bought the remaster at this point, don't buy the remaster. It is not worth it. Well, you know, let's be fair, Square already made DLC for an old Final Fantasy game. It was called The After Years. Honestly, Clem, I would say don't get 7, 8, or 9 on PS4, but I know you already have 7, at least. They're like the weakest console versions. The HD ports, they're weak as fuck compared to the original game. You are better off with them on PS3 as the PS1 classics. Don't forget as well, After Years was episodic. See, I consider the port of 7 to be bearable. The port of 9 is fucking garbage. It looks terrible. They removed analog support. So you've got a D-pad mapped to an analog stick. What? What is that? 7's passable. It's fine. It's not great, it's fine. I think 9 is really crap. Well, that's the thing. The port of 9 and the remaster of 8 don't have analog support because they're ports of the PC versions. And so what you've got is 8 directional movement mapped to an analog stick. With no pressure sensitivity either. Which is weird because the PS4 version of 7 has pressure sensitivity. And the original didn't have. Analog support, it predates the analog stick. Yeah, you remember that when we were doing the stream, the theme was... They were playing the wrong theme in that scene. I think they fixed it though. Bad key 1. My big issue with the port of with the ports of 8 and 9 more than anything are the control issues. Like, you ruin the controls in 20-year-old games. I'm glad you remember what it was, Bane. I just remember it was wrong at this point. Almost a year ago we did that. Oh great, now I have time to take a drink. Thank you, Odin. Oh yeah, the battle's still going on outside. It's just, that's the thing, the battle's going on outside. You know what, let's take a look at some of the refinements that we can do, some of the refining. I'm not going to use the card, I don't care. Life magic. Dead spirit, 20 deaths. What did I miss? Don't learn music. Yeah, it feels like a really slapdash port. I suppose in the end they all do. Shit, Blizzaga really boosts attack, doesn't it? No, FF8 isn't the worst Cid. Who was Cid in 13? I don't remember Cid in 13. Wait, no, I remember Cid. He was a boss fight. Jeez. Ah, that's fair enough, Clem. You take care of yourself before you do the stream. Yeah, Reigns. He's just kind of a boss fight out of nowhere. But then that's one of the big problems with 13 anyway. The motivations are all over the place. Like when Fang suddenly becomes a boss fight. But yeah, no, we're working together and everything's cool. And then all of a sudden she's a boss fight and then that's it, she's back with you and it means absolutely nothing. Yeah, I was never... If we talk strictly design, I was never fond of FF5 Cid. I like 7 Cid. I'm also into Dragoons. Yeah, I completely forgot these things actually exist. You know, I'm not doing the draw thing. I don't really care right now. Smack them all. You think Dragoon Cid's actually going to smoke in the remake though, D-Jam? God, that's actually a point. I think I mentioned it during... It might have been your stream, Clem. Are they going to tone down Cid's abusive remarks towards Shira for the remake? No, he doesn't smoke in Advent Children. I think he has a toothpick. Like, he has something in his mouth, but it's not a cigarette. Who the hell are you? You're not junction to anybody. How many do you have? 2, 3, 3. That was an oversight. Yeah. Yeah, what did I miss? Well, it's the weird thing with smoking and shit. If you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, during Part 3, Stardust Crusaders, the second half of that, they censored whenever Jotaro was smoking. In the weirdest way. So what they did was they cover his face in shadow. Or like the bottom half of his face, so you can't see that he's smoking, but there's still a light there that's very obviously a cigarette light. And it makes no sense. Actually, I see time magic. I'm bored of this now. Did they? I thought they just straight out removed Zork's Demon Schlong. Oh, Blizzaga does so much more damage. You know, I don't know. I think they have some decent monster designs in this game. No, I'm sure they just removed it. That's weird. Also, you have it on Netflix. Is it on our? It's on our Netflix. Yeah, of course it is. I have it on my list. Jeez. What am I thinking? Fun fact, in the original version of Final Fantasy VIII, Chaos also had like a demon dragon schlong thing. You know, I've debated doing like a Yu-Gi-Oh stream at some point, but it'd end up being like one stream. I don't think I can keep my enthusiasm up for extended periods for Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Not playing Yu-Gi-Oh anyway. Yes, they did. It's one of the points I give the PS1 version. None of the sprites are censored in the PS1 version of 6, and it's the only version released in the West that has no sprite censoring. Now let's go back across the hockey field. Yeah, they did. That was weird. a friend of mine was really adamant at one point that if they do remake Final Fantasy VI, they should just do this. They should make the same game just in the Octopath engine, which is fair enough. Renoa does not have a low-cut top to begin with. It's just stupid. Hey, remember the war outside and how exciting it was and how this entire thing has come to a complete and utter halt now? Yeah, this was just a classroom. The room at the top of the stairs, that was a level 2 lock. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I suggest there is no definitive version of Final Fantasy VI. The original Super Nintendo release has the best quality music and it doesn't have the load times or anything, but it has the censored sprites and the translation is rough. There are no neighbours in the Cetra continent. The PS1 version has the uncensored sprites, the translation is refined somewhat over the original Super Nintendo version while still keeping the same tone and a lot of the same lines. The problem is the load times, which aren't that bad, but the load times for the battles don't bother me. It bothers me that it takes like 2 seconds for the menu to load up when you press triangle. And then there's the Game Boy Advance version, which has lower quality music and the sprites are a little censored, less than the Super Nintendo version, more than the PS1 version. But then the music is of a lower quality and they redid the translation so it loses the tone of the original version. I didn't realise this guy had so much health. Odin just took care of him last time. He didn't have anything decent to steal. Yeah. Tonal dissonance. Like, the Shimmer building infiltration is a good comparison. Here we go, this should be the main hall, shouldn't it? No, it's basketball court. But the music is a very good point to really demonstrate the tonal dissonance here. Where the hell am I? Oh, great, now I know where I am. The landing would be a good one to continue doing now. Like, they started with it and it kind of just stopped at some point. Oh, that's hideous. Oh, okay. No, it's a dead claw. See? Dead. But yeah, no, the landing, keeping the landing going would have worked way better. Let's get out here and do the Cerberus fight. You know, one thing I do like is how we can just run into it and we're fine. If we want to actually fight it, we have to press the X button. I like that as a touch. This isn't actually Cerberus. We're all good. Oh wow, bio. Like the Materia Keeper, yeah. It is kind of funny that we're running around Cerberus to show off that you have to actually interact with it to fight, and then we get a random encounter and it's this thing. It is a discount Cerberus. You know, that scene just makes me think of Persona 5 now. Okay, Butters. Which means I need to put Butters onto something else. Oh, fuck that. HP plus 80%, yeah. You know, there's the fun thing about that. Oh, there's a save point there. The fun thing about that, the whole you'll never see it coming thing. I generally think of that in the voice of the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. There we go. And Kaziri is just great all round. Oh, that reminds me, Bane, did you watch the, I think it's today's part of Simpsons Hit and Run? Okay, you don't think Galbadia Garden uses GF, so where did this thing come from? Ooh, Quake. Alright, fair enough. You know, probably be a smart idea to respond to that with silence. Is that thing presenting? Careful, Kenny. Attack while its tail's up. Oh, that's heavy damage. Are you making the Final Fantasy VII reference as well? Or is that a legitimate tip? Don't attack while the tail's up. Alright. This might take a while. You'll never see it. With the way things stood with its tail up like that, it looks less threatening and more like it's presenting itself. It's like, please Cerberus, stop this. Final Fantasy VIII boss theme's underrated. Should have grind for triple. People good for any of the stats, is the question. Ooh, nasty. No, I feel like that would work the other way. There we go, this will work. See, there's the problem with the AI using double or triple on themselves. And let's take care of that. You know, if there's one thing I really like about Persona 5 over something like this, Persona 5's battles move so quickly. It's a turn-based RPG where the fights are so fast. I love it. I really need to silence this fucker if he's going to keep doing triple cast. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody good? This is going to take a while, I might as well talk. You're getting enough vitamins in your diet. How's your fibre intake? Getting enough exercise? Your mother and I are very concerned. Okay, somebody have silence. Silence and ain't even junction to anything. Wonderful. You playing Ari 2 make again? Fucking bosses with their immunity to status effects. Well, to be fair, it's not like anything's going on here. There we go. Seriously, Thundaga looks scarier than it is, but if that's going to hit Selphie, that could be a problem. Oh no, that's fine. We're all good. If that hit Selphie again, that could have been a problem. Yeah, no, the noir filter is an interesting idea, but it's really impractical. Stupid. Well, you know, Clem, I could do with doing a Final Fantasy VI run if you're interested. Maybe a Resident Evil 6 run. Yeah, I feel like having the G adults replace the spiders as the common enemies in the sewers was a bad idea. Oh. Yeah, you know what? We're not drawing double or triple because this is taking too long as it is. The problem is that he casts triple on himself and he just keeps triple casting Thundaga. How close we're to being done with Quake? Fucking hell, only 39? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But the issue with casting Dispel is he could just cast triple again. It's not even that it's a threat, it's just wasting time. Don't worry, Bane will still be here when you get back in this fight. Not like we're gonna go anywhere with it. Oh god, he fucking muted them, didn't he? So they can't draw now. Yeah, Renzo Kukin. Like we got anything else for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Follow up with Rough Divide. Or don't, that's fine. Okay. So we just ask Dispel 3 times, what? Yeah, do Renzo Kukin again. I don't care anymore. Ooh, 6. Now we're following up with Rough Divide. Well, let's do it again, I guess. This is definitely one of the problems with Final Fantasy VIII's battle system if you try to balance it. The way limit breaks are just so easily accessible when they're designed like Final Fantasy VI as desperation attacks. But it's so easy to cheese the game into just giving them you whenever you want. Okay, Cerberus. Well, we need a name for Cerberus now. Yeah, that's fine. Sparky, Stan's gay dog, voiced by George Clooney. Alright, let's see. 70, give those to Kenny. Then 58, give those to Keistis. There we go. Is her strength boosted? Yes it is, that's why her strength is so high. Alright, fair enough. Essener. Essener's not junction? What? No, no, cast. Why can't we... Why is there a use option that we just can't... Oh, because they're silenced, okay. You know, it's probably stupid that that actually counts outside battle. We need to junction Sparky to somebody. And then have him learning the right things. Yeah, no, not that. Speed is a good one. Speed junction. I don't even remember where to go to fight Cypher. This way? Let's go this way. Oh, come on, lock 3? That's an open staircase. That didn't follow? That didn't turn up again. Why is that? Oh, it did. It's in the other place. I keep looking in the wrong place with the alerts. Thanks for the follow, D-Cham. Appreciate it, buddy. Where am I going? Infinitely repeating Indy requires me to press the test raid button. If somebody actually raids us, it doesn't repeat infinitely. It's 49. It's like, let's, yeah, sure, let's show it off. Oh, they fixed it. It's not infinitely repeating anymore. Alright, lock 3 though. Now we can go everywhere. Yeah, probably will. It's a good thing I don't do this to make money. I do remember to change that back to the Star Wars one when we get to Star Wars month. Smack him in the face. That's the kind of damage you want everybody doing. It actually cuts out a little too early, which is a shame. Well, you're going through OBS now. You might as well. Like I said before, it's a gradual thing. Get comfortable with the software and do what you want with it. Learn what you can do and make it yours. You know, that's not a bad idea, man. But yeah, you are right, Beacham. The biggest examples being Biggs and Wedge. That's weird. Because like, I can do the follower, I can do the subscriber test. I'm not affiliate yet. Oh, there's the subscribe one. I'm not affiliate. I can't have subscribers. Weird. Well, you want to get around the blocking, so it's either that or you pick up a capture card. If you figure out the way, if you do use OBS as the way to get around blocking and it's reliable, then you could also do Persona 5. I know Crack's doing a Persona 4 Golden playthrough right now. I think the rebellion overthrowing the Empire isn't just specifically a Star Wars thing, though. To hit affiliate, we need 50 followers and an average of 3 viewers per stream, which we've been getting recently. We're working up there. Elemental attack. Fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's there's 4 requirements. We hit 2, which is number of hours streamed and number of days streamed. I think that's like over the last month. The regular 3 days a week works out for that. There we go. It is 50, yeah. 50 followers, certain number of hours streamed, a certain number of days streamed in the last month, and also an average of 3 viewers per stream. We have been averaging around 3 per stream recently, yeah. The main issue really is the way Twitch determines the averages. And it has to be an average across multiple streams. There's one of the people I follow on Twitch. mentioned how he hit affiliate because while he was playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, somebody raided him with a bunch of people, and that on its own bumped his he had like over 20 viewers at that point during one stream, and that alone pushed it high enough, pushed the average high enough. Like, the followers are easy, it's the average views that's the tricky part. It's just one guy on his own. That was as much of a threat as I expected. Yeah, the weird thing is, like, a lot of it depends on how many people you've had like for an extended period in the stream. We can end up with 10 viewers. Oh, I love this song. Succession of Witches is a fantastic piece. The road to partnership seems way more unclear than the road to affiliate. Cypher, you're not threatening. I'm going to kick you in the dick again. Isn't it convenient that after we've all remembered that Edea was matron, that Cypher brings it up? Do I want to take haste from Cypher? That's a fair point. Yeah, the average viewer thing is, it's weird how Twitch calculates that. Oh, hey, there's the spell. Oh. Wait a minute. Oh no, I think we all have haste. Do we all have haste? Seems like it. Yeah, I think I fully stocked up on haste as soon as we got it. Well, that's fair enough, then. Yeah, the average viewer count is weird. But I get the stats from Twitch and from Streamlabs since I stream through Streamlabs OBS. And get like the average viewer count, the average watch time and stuff like that. And the way it works them out is really weird. Probably because they're trying to average out something that really doesn't fit neatly into an average. Ready to die, Kenny? He says as he does less damage than we do with each attack. Oh wow, that's a stupid looking limit break. That's it. Less than 1,000. You can't be beaten, but we already beat you. I can't be beaten. Now give me a minute while I heal. Okay. Well, hopefully. The Castlevania Marathon hopefully will pull in some people, that'll be good. The Star Wars month might pull some people in. There are always people who like Star Wars. Because you're a bitch, Cypher. Seriously. How could I have lost again? Because you're worthless. That's why nobody wants you. See? Even Edea agrees. Well, no, I mean, in the end of the day, the idea of hitting affiliate is nice, but whether I do or not doesn't really matter. As long as I got a bunch of cool dudes in the chat keeping me company. That is the main point. More than anything. And while I'm having fun. And that was the good thing with Skies of Arcadia. It was a lot of fun there. That was a lot of fun to play through again. See, now that is a more reasonable sentiment, Cypher, because we didn't beat her last time. And I guess we're ending tonight with the end of Disc 2. This is Session 6. We ended Session 3 with the end of Disc 1. Common sense dictates that the way to go to get to the auditorium should be where the basketball court is, but it isn't. We have to actually head over here. I remember this. That's why the save point's here. I really do love VIII's soundtrack, though. No, channel points are affiliate. There's also the possibility of subscribing as well, which is a really weird thought. This is a cool scene. And if you're going to do anything with subscribers, they also have to do some emotes. Just in time for the Edea fight, Clem. That's fucking cool. Cypher, So there is actually one thing about this fight that can be a little worrying. Edea can cast Death. Oh no, I'll never get past you for the third time. Really does. He's too prideful. Yeah, Maelstrom's a fair point as well. I always remember Death more than Maelstrom. Like, it's kind of weird with how many times we fight Cypher, that there isn't actually a, Oh, we have to get past Cypher to get to Edea at all. It's kind of weird with how often we fight Cypher and the fact that he's supposed to be the rival character, that there isn't a specific battle theme for him. Don't worry, as soon as we get access to Edea, we are going to draw everything of value from her. The issue is, like, I was just trying it, can't draw anything from her until Cypher's done. Good work, Cypher. Oh, you just now disgraced? Oh, it's interesting that his body doesn't fade away. Oh boy. Oh boy. You know, the concern isn't even the damage it does. The concern is that it casts darkness. Is Maelstrom a gravity spell? Does it do percentage-based damage? Oh shit. Oh. Well, you know, that gives me one thought. Oh, there goes haste. I still hit her even though she's blind. She's susceptible to sleep. Jeez. Can't believe that. That's crazy. The only thing is percentage based. Fair enough. Main thought is if it's percentage based, it changes how I'm going to approach it. Yeah, we'll find out if she casts it again. Keeps casting Death, that'll be a problem. So the best way to deal with Death is to junction 100 deaths to is it status junction defense? It's either status junction defense or just regular junction defense. I love the way Balenciaga looks when it freezes over the characters. So cool. Some people keep Selphie in their party and abuse her limit break for instant kills on everything used in the end. I do it for full cure. Restock you on Essener, everybody else just attack her. I'm not drawing Debbie out of her. There you go, status defense. It's a pain because that is, I think, otherwise damn near guaranteed to kill. And we've seen how she'll just cast it willy-nilly. It's actually a bit of a pain to deal with. Crime is life. The sentence is death. Renzo Kuken. Reduces HP by 50%, so it is percentage based. Which means it is not something to worry about, and more than anything, is a great way to gain access to limit breaks. Reflect would be worrying if I ever cast magic in this game. I'd be more worried if she cast it on my party. Rough Divide. There you go. The big problem with Final Fantasy VIII's battle system, just how easy it is to abuse the limit breaks. God, I forget who we've even got. Really? You think Alexander should be Mr. Slave? Alright, why not? But you know, it makes me think back to the issue we had with naming Angelo. You think big girl? Wait, what? Big girl. Yeah, you know, I suppose we should give Klim a shot with this. Big gay Alexander. You know, that's a good point there, Clem. But it brings up a point, like, when we were naming Angelo, Angelo did not have enough room to be called Mr. Slave with a space. Oh no, she farted. That was good. It was good. It was a good call, Clem. Good call. Honestly, I was kind of unsure about Mr. Slave anyway, because we already have Mr. Hat in conjunction with Herbert Garrison. I felt it didn't really fit as well. But Big Girl works great. It was a good call, Clip. Renoa, why did your hand immediately go to his crotch? Everybody forgets Mr. Stick. Mr. Twig. Everybody forgets Mr. Twig. Herbert, why did you just make out with Cypher and grab his crotch? So it turns out the big problem Edea had and the reason she was so cranky and wanted to take over the world was because she had a really bad case of gas. But now that it's all gone, she's perfectly fine. Does this 2 end on this cliffhanger? It does, doesn't it? Oh, jeez. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's session. You know, the inserting different discs screen in Final Fantasy VIII does not look anywhere near as good as the inserting different discs screen in Final Fantasy VII. Let me see this. How does that look? It doesn't look bad actually, but I think part of the reason is because Final Fantasy VIII is like the screen on Final Fantasy VIII is so small anyway. Like you look on the stream and it's set up for 4:3, and then look how much empty space there is around it anyway. Like what the hell, Final Fantasy VIII? Use more of your real estate. But no, that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We'll be back on Thursday, 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, with more Final Fantasy VIII, I guess. With Disc 3 of Final Fantasy VIII, which... Let me think about what we actually have to do in Disc 8. In Disc 3. I'm glad you had fun, Clem. Disc 3, the Laguna sequence... which is the Ruby Dragon fight. Fisherman's Horizon, walking to Estar, getting into Estar. I feel like Disc 3 will be shorter, but it'll probably still be about 3 sessions, maybe 2.5. Laguna, Fisherman's Horizon, walking to Estar, which includes the Great Salt Lake. The Salt Flats, that's what it is. Abaddon. Estar. Screwing around in Estar. Space. Then everything to do with the Lunatic Pandora. Yeah, it might be another 3 sessions. Yeah, we have the Laguna sequence where Laguna is working in the mines and inspires the rebellion at some point. That's all for later. Might be a little bit longer than Disc 2. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, the bridge to Estar. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for watching. I always really appreciate the support. Special thanks to Bane, Klim, and our newest follower, D-Chan. What's wrong with the chat bot? Yeah. First thanks to Bane, Klim, and our newest follower, D-Chan, for joining the chat. I always really appreciate that. Thank you for the follow, D-Chan. Yeah, you do Laguna twice. The intro, the mine sequence. What about the time when they do the quick flashback to show how they caught Edea? Sorceress Edea. Or Adel. We need to actually come up with a definitive answer on how we say that. Mission. Full screen. Into mission. Widescreen. Live scene. You don't control the gun. Fair enough. It is a quick short sequence anyway. Mostly serves to introduce, I think, the Sorceress Memorial. No. You see the Sorceress Memorial before that. Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Alright. But yeah, once again, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Special thanks to Bane, Clem, and D-Cham for joining the chat. I always really appreciate that. It's what keeps the streams alive. Otherwise, I am basically just talking to myself. It's the Let's Plays all over again. Yeah, you rescue Renoa from it. And then the Sorceress Memorial appears in the flashback afterwards to show you how it really works. Yeah. Let's get some music on while we say goodbye. There we go. That's good stuff. But yeah, that'll do it for tonight. We're back Thursday, 8 PM GMT Greenwich Mean Time with more Final Fantasy VIII as we enter Disc 3. Try and figure out what's wrong with her, but in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, guys.